Happy 4th of July to all of you. I hope you're having a great weekend with family because I am not. Some of my family has trooped off to Ireland and then Scotland. And the other part of the family are getting on an airplane today and they're going to Portugal, okay? But fear not, I'm feeling pretty good because I do get to dog sit. It's a good drill. And it's a wonderful family. So I do hope you're having a good weekend, and I know I am as well. So remember who you are. That, of course, is from The Lion King, and it seems that Simba has forgotten who he is. And who he is, who he's meant to be, is the king. He's meant to be the one to lead the pride and to defend and protect the pride. He has this job that's way larger than himself. Have you ever heard that one before? Be a part of something larger than yourself? Way larger than himself. But something has short-circuited all of that. In an instant, he has lost his father. And not just lost his father, but he blames himself. He holds himself responsible for the death of his dad. In fact, he believes that he's killed his dad. And so he runs away, as far away as he can. And the place that he finally comes to is at first an odd place for him, but pretty soon it begins to be a place where he can sort of insulate himself from that past. Because that past just dogs him and haunts him. So, and insulates him in such a way that he begins to forget what it was like, who he was, and who he was meant to be. And you know, it's as much as he hates it, as much as he knows that it's wrong, that place where he lands, where he becomes insulated, becomes kind of comfortable, feels okay. But of course, now he's needed. And not needed as a sidekick to two kind of idiots, but he's needed to be king. He's needed to defend and protect. He's called to something that's bigger than what he is right now. But he can't go. Because of his past, he can't go. And you know, it becomes a kind of paralysis. Well, I'd like you to hold that thought, and let's sing for a minute. So, by the way, thank you for reading. It's good to see you again, Allison. How'd you get off on a Sunday? Don't you work at a church? It's good. It's good. That's the lesson that Allison read, and I don't know if you all know this, but we have a Bible study on Sundays, kind of during and after coffee, and we study the lesson for the coming week. So last Sunday, we sat down and started out by reading the lesson. And I asked the same question that I ask every week when we do this Bible study. What do you all see? Well, Pam pipes up, and she says, that question that Jesus asks, do you want to be healed? Duh. I mean, who wouldn't want to be healed? The guy's been laid up for 38 years, can't walk. He's laying there beside this pool. And the pool, he's tried everything else. And the pool is a pool that has magical properties. And it promises some kind of healing. So he waits. He waits for the water to be stirred. Which, by the way, in the Greek language, it's not just stirred. The word quite literally means disturbed or troubled. So he's waiting for the troubled waters, which is sort of like the life he's been living for the last 38 years. And you wait there long enough, and you begin to forget what it's like to not be paralyzed, to not have this thing hanging around your neck, not letting you be what you are meant to be. And so he lays there, waiting for a promise of healing that's always just beyond his reach. Just like Simba, wouldn't you say? I mean, for Simba, the paralysis is his past. For this guy, it's 38 years and a lot of unfair treatment. And so he waits. And, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? 38 years doing the same thing over and over again. You all have heard that saying, haven't you? What is it? It's idiocy? No, not idiocy. Insanity. You know this. Yes. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. And that's kind of what this guy's doing, right? At least it looks that way. But I think it might be something else, actually. I think it might be the fact that he's forgotten what it's like to be able to walk. And that place that he's in has become like an old, cozy shirt. And pretty soon, you wear that shirt long enough, it's hard to take it off. Isn't it? He lays there. And he has become that old shirt. And he knows that he can't get rid of it. Because you see, here's the thing about that old shirt and the way it's so comfortable is when you go to take it off, you also realize that it brings more fear, the change that comes with taking it off, than it does just staying in the paralysis. Jesus says, do you want to be healed? Did you notice? The man does not answer his question. Instead, he gives all the reasons why he can't be healed. And all the reasons why the world has treated him as so unfairly. They just step over the top of me. There's no one here to help me. Jesus says, cuts right through it. That's not what I'm asking. He says, I know it's been unfair. I know it's been this way for a long time. And I know that shirt that you're wearing has gotten mighty comfortable. And so Jesus says, what's more is, I also know that you've been set up for disappointment so many times. So many times before. And again and again and again, you get disappointed. You get hurt. But this pool that you're sitting beside, it's always a promise that's out of reach, isn't it? And all that does for you is create a cynicism. And the shirt just keeps getting more and more comfortable. There's nothing here for you, Jesus says. There's nothing here for you. All you need is me. Do you want to be healed? Let's stop. So what's your old shirt? We all have them. Every one of us, including Manoir. Maybe it's something physical that's holding you down and has been holding you down for years. I know that was the way for my mom. She couldn't get out of the house for the last 4 years of her life. Maybe it's something that's not physical. Maybe it's the raw deal that life has handed your way. Maybe there's resentment that goes with that. Maybe there's some anger or some hurt or someone who has hurt you. Now, the list is endless, isn't it? What's the shirt that you're wearing? And listen, I know that those shirts are real. I mean, I think about a woman that I once knew who was in an abusive relationship. And she talked about getting out. She wanted to get out. She hated being there. But she could never pull herself away to do it. Why? Because the fear of the unknown, of leaving, was much worse, she thought, than staying. And with every day, she grew more and more angry and more resentful. I know how hard it is to take off those shirts, because I have one too. But let me also say this. The longer you wear that shirt, the harder it is to take it off. And so, you know, you're here today, and you're in the best place you could possibly be. Because Jesus has a question for you. And it's a good question indeed. Do you want to be healed? Because that shirt that you're wearing, there's nothing in it for you. All you need is me. And the life, and the hope, and the promise, and the forgiveness, and the love, and the peace, and the kindness that I alone can give. Do you want to be healed?